Hey, sports card fans, welcome back to another episode of Two Guys, One Hobby, episode 40.
Oh,
On.
shit. Start over.
Well, see, this is what happens when you get to 40 episodes, the technical, support tends to go.
You would
So,
think I'd have better equipment by this time.
yeah.
All
But
right.
yeah, this is our 40th episode, including, I think,
Wow.
2 hobby paloozas.
Okay.
So, yep. How have you been?
I've been good, man. It's
Yeah.
cold here now, man. I hate it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I knowing when this is going to air, I don't want to release too much stuff, but let's just say I'm going to be warmer than you are going to be. I'll just leave
Yeah.
things at that and
Don't
let
rub
things
it in.
play out. But yeah,
Okay.
but we have it was my choice for a guest today, and I think we have a really good guest. He's almost known more for being on other people's channels than his own channel, but he does have his own channel. I think he's about 2 years into his channel. Great guy, great collector. Met him a couple times at shows, and it's a Jason Everyday Card Collector. Jason, welcome.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome to Two Collectors, One Passion.
Yeah.
Love that. Oh, that's that other channel. That
Whatever
sounds
they
like,
are. I don't even know what
That's
they
the channel that sounds like ours. You owe us royalties, by the way.
are. Right, no kidding.
But Jason, you've been sort of a long time, I guess, co-host of Cardboard and Cold Ones on Sammy Thunder's channel. How long have you been doing that? That's
I think we just finished episode 52, I think, which was yesterday, and it was on the Four Collectors channel. But we've been doing it for a while. It's weekly, so every Thursday we do it.
I believe that's been a year already.
Yeah.
52.
And even a little bit longer because we missed a couple and because of holidays and things of that nature, we'll skip out. But yeah, we've been, and it's a great opportunity to bring others into the community. Introduce them if they're newer channels. We've brought a lot of newer channels on, and
that's what we try to do here, and get some exposure. So, Jason, I'll give you an opportunity here for like the 2 or 3 people that are actually watching this video that don't know who you are. And I will have a link to Jason's channel in the description of this video. Definitely go check his channel out and his videos. Great collection, does some great videos. But give us a quick little background of your collecting history, and then I think we'll start talking about the newest area that you've gotten into, and talk more about that in the community in general. So
perfect. Yeah, I would say my history of collecting is very similar to 90% of the stories you hear in this community. So I started at like 10 or 11 collecting cards. Kind of slowed down once I got into high school, and cars and girls and other things became more important, and dipped in and out of the hobby throughout that time. I know Moynihan said, as long as you never sell your cards, you're always a collector. And I kind of think he's right, because at the end of the day, I kept everything I always had in my 20s, in my 30s. I even kept, I would buy on occasion and keep. And then COVID hit, right? So I started digging through my stuff in COVID and said, hey, I got some good cards here. You're looking things up, and you always think, when you're not really into the hobby, you really think every card you have is worth $1 million. And there's a Kobe Bryant rookie card, and this got to be where I could pay the house off for this. And then you start to dig in and realize, well, maybe not so much. But the passion never went away. I love collecting. So COVID hit. Shortly after COVID, I started watching YouTube, and that's when I clicked into a lot of the channels and a lot of the guys. And I always credit, like I went to the 2023 National before Cleveland, right? I think that was the Chicago one before Cleveland. Yeah. Went to the 2023 National, and I went to the get together, and I met a bunch of the guys even before I had a channel. And that was my first sense of, this is a community, and it's not just guys, off on their own, doing their own content. It truly is a community. I got to meet Sammy Thunder, was very influential in me starting. Orlando was very influential. He's just the greatest guy in the world, collector's dream. And then actually Don has a part in this, believe it or not. I was for 6 months watching Alex Bowman 53's channel every Sunday. They get together, they hang out about nothing. And I just mentioned that I might start a channel, and Don, well, you got to just do it, just start, and this is before I knew anybody. And shortly thereafter, a month or two later, I pulled the trigger and started my channel. But from COVID
so you really do owe me money then.
I know I do. It's like, you know what? Well, here's how I feel. Like Scott owes you money now, and now I owe you money.
Yeah.
Marketing director for Scott, and you started me off. So. But the reality is, once COVID hit, I already had collected a little bit of vintage prior to me coming in and out of the hobby, and vintage was always what really drove my passion. So I just, shortly after COVID, dove in headfirst into vintage, and it's been that. And I collected all. I still have modern. I still have modern cards of this year and last year, and I still collect a lot of that. But my main focus is vintage.
Yeah. And you said, I think prior to us recording here, maybe it's 6 months or so that you've taken that next step in vintage and gotten into pre-war.
Yeah, I would say six. I in my head, because I'm old and everything seems like it was yesterday. I initially said 6 to 8 months. I would actually say it's probably been 2 years. And the only reason I say that is what got me into pre-war was more influence of others, of friends of mine in the community.
Right.
I had met my friend Aaron, who has a channel, Value Vintage Cards, at Strongsville 2 years ago. And he had a friend there, Joe. Joe does not have a channel. And Joe and I live close to each other. And I've become really close friends with those guys. And they at the time, collected much differently than I did. I was basically a golden era guy. Graded was important to me. Numbers not so much, but I wanted a graded card. And in watching Aaron's channel and hanging out with Joe at local card shows and watching how they collect, it started to shift for me. And so it wasn't so much that I was done with golden era. I think you and I were talking, John, much like you, I'm in a place in golden era where there's still a ton that I need to get. So yep. I grapple myself in my head. Oh, maybe I'll get this or maybe I'll get that. But in the last 7 to 8 months, I'd say it's been a real heavy pre-war push for me, and affordable pre-war. And we can talk, because everyone's afraid of that. They just think it costs too much. And I can prove that wrong by showing cards and talking about it. So,
well, you said that it's somewhat due through influence of others, some of your friends, some of the other people you're watching, and Don, I don't know if you've maybe noticed this as well. It seems that over the last maybe year, maybe a little bit longer, I'm not sure, but there's been more of a movement of the vintage collectors getting into pre-war. And I wanted to maybe have a discussion on that, about what everyone thinks may be the motivation in doing so. I think there's maybe a couple of things that, at least for me, come to mind, but I have noticed that, and I really haven't made that plunge yet. And quite honestly, it's probably going to be some time, because I don't want to stretch myself too thin. Well, I am on a smaller budget, and if I go one way, then I feel like I'm neglecting another. So rather than start something new, while I think, all these videos I'm watching of these cards, they're really cool. And I'm starting to learn a little bit more about them. But like you said, Jason, there's still a bunch of golden age that I'm working on, my little projects. And I can't wait to complete the smaller 100 card list, because I already have a list building of the next 100 cards I want to get. So it's like, I need to get those through those. And then maybe at some point I'll be like, okay, now I can start maybe every once in a while picking up a pre-war card. And
then John, I think there's a lot to be said of guys like Dave Blue Jackets and Mangini and Rick Vintage Oddball Cards, those two I'm on a chat with for the Misfits or text thread, so I see all their pre-war stuff, and there's others that collect those. And I think what you guys said about the golden era, and I've said this before, there's tons of cards from that era that I would love to see, but when I go to a show, it's not a big deal to see those cards anymore. I've seen them so many times. Mm-hmm. And these pre-war cards that, at least for me, like, oh, I've never seen that. And pre-war is like modern for me. It's very hard to follow because all the E's and the T's and the candy, and I'm so lost on all that stuff. But I think it's a lot of people brought it to light, and Jason's showing a lot of it now, and he's going to show some stuff here, I presume. And he just mentioned how there is uh, a way to do it without breaking the bank. Because I see some of these cars these guys buy, and it's like, I can't get that Babe Ruth, I can't get that Lou Gehrig, that Ty Cobb and Honus Wagner. Who am I going to get? But
it's funny you say that, Don, because when you start to really dive into some of the sets of some of the pre-war sets of some of the players you just named, if you dig deep enough, you can find a Babe Ruth, you can find a Lou Gehrig, you can find a DiMaggio much, much cheaper than what most people would consider their base runs, whether it's the 33 Gaudis or 34 Gaudis. We'll talk about that, but I've got a Babe Ruth, and it was 1/3 of the price of a Gaudi, and it's earlier than the 33s, 33s and 34s. So it's just I think the stigma with pre-war is, it's just too expensive, and it can get it gets very expensive very quick when you're talking Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner, and you're talking T206, T205, early stuff. But if you're looking 30s and 20s, there are options out there where it's extremely affordable. And much to what you had said, John, when we were talking, the other thing is, if it has to be graded, it's going to be expensive.
So how are you doing your research, Jason? What have you done to learn about some of these?
Affordable I don't want to give them too much credit, although you already did. Two guys who really taught me a lot immensely were John Mangini and Rick Vintage Oddball Cards. Now, I say that jokingly because I tell them every time I see them, I'm like, you guys kind of pushed, they were part of the influence as well. So being able to look at John's cards or Rick's cards, if John was sharing a set and he would show it and it piqued my interest, I would just look it up. And you could go to Old Time Cardboard, you could go to and I would just start to learn about the sets. So they were really my first influence. And then meeting Aaron and meeting my buddy Joe at Strongsville just tipped me over the edge. Aaron is both of them are more towards that scarce, really rare stuff that we were talking about, John. And I'm not there. It's too expensive for me. I'm not there in my collection. But where I am is I can be in pre-war and affordable pre-war. And it's just really got me excited about collecting, even more so than Golden Era. And I still love Golden Era. So,
yeah, one of the theories that I sort of came up with, I'm not sure if it's true, Don. I'd love to know your thoughts, and Jason, is that for me, my vintage journey started about 5 years ago or so. Once I got onto YouTube. Prior to that, I had mainly concentrated on Wade Boggs cards. I'd always had an interest in vintage. I had some vintage cards in my collection, but from here and there, picking up occasional vintage card or something. But I always wanted to do it, and getting on YouTube and COVID and all that stuff, like you said, that got me into say, hey, I want to build a vintage collection. So I'm like 5 years into building a vintage collection. And I think there are a lot of more seasoned vintage collectors that have been doing it for 10, 15, 20 years and so I'm where they were 10, 15 years ago, still building the base cards, doing some player runs, filling in some Hall of Famers here and there. And I think a lot of them have been there, done that. Now, either they still have all those base cards, Mike Baseball Collector with the 5 decades, or some of them had it and then they sold to buy a more expensive card or whatever and consolidate it. But they're at the point now of what else is out there? What piques my interest? I'm not interested in modern. Hey, what about pre-war? And I think a lot of us in the community are in that stage of vintage, because most of the people I hang out with and interact with, they're vintage collectors. I don't have many on here that are into modern, because my modern consists of one player. That's all I'm interested in. I don't care about opening new packs or all that stuff, right? So I think that's maybe one of the reasons why there's been a more like a general movement toward looking at pre-war is that's the next area to explore in terms of vintage. And then there are others that are looking to consolidate their collections, and by doing so can afford more. And again, they've maybe, getting one of the couple more expensive golden era cards. They're saying, hey, I can maybe now get a Ty Cobb. I can maybe go get a Christy Mathewson or something. And that's gotten him in. So what do you think about that sort of theory?
You want to go, Don, or you want me to go?
I think it makes a lot. I'll go because I'll be brief since you know more about it than I do. I think that makes a lot of sense, to be honest. They've kind of been there, done that, and where you haven't, you're still building on your vintage, and I think that makes a lot of sense. Because once you've got like a Mike Monahan almost has all those cards or whatever, unless you're going for like a red heart set or a food set or something like that, it makes sense to go pre-war. Because you've kind of, not that you've completed it, because it's almost impossible to complete the golden era, but you're pretty well into it, and I agree with your theory there.
And a new challenge and new learning experience, and So
yeah,
Jason, what do you think there?
I would say, much to what Don brought up earlier, I think at least in the community, if you're seeing that shift, what you see is everybody dives headfirst into the community, right? And you really involve yourself into it, and you're knee deep, and you start to learn, and you learn quickly. And much like Don said, you go to a bazillion card shows, and I can find a 1960 Ernie Banks at every single card show that I go to. Mm-hmm. I cannot necessarily find a 1937 Wheaties panel of, Charlie Gehringer. So it becomes, the thrill of the hunt. It's also what floats your boat. Let's be very clear here. I collect I'm as broad as heck, and I have the attention span of a gnat. So, I went from junk wax to modern to vintage, now quote unquote pre-war. I still have it all. I'm also a hoarder. I don't sell. I don't get rid of cards. I've done it maybe 3 times, but now through the influence of my friends and guys and other guys like Matt, the card store is another one. They push me really hard. They're like, why don't you sell some of that golden era? And I'm like, well, no, I'm just going to keep it forever. And now it's starting to click in my head a little bit. Like, all right, I can always get a 62 Ernie Banks. If I can unload some of my Ernie Banks and some of my Hank Aaron and muster up half the cost of the Lou Gehrig I'm looking at, that I'm only going to see, maybe once or twice a year, maybe I just suck it up. And then if I always want to, I can go back and get those Ernie Banks and Hank Aaron's. And quite frankly, now that I've kind of shifted a little bit in my thought and grading too, well, maybe I can get those cards again. Maybe they're a little rougher, maybe they're ungraded, but so what? They're mine. That's all so there's a way to shift money and save money at the same time. So it's clicking. I'm still haven't pulled the trigger on I'm going to sell golden era cards. So that hasn't happened yet. So
I think that for some, I know it would be a big shift in how I collect, because I had that hoarder mentality as well. I have boxes of junk wax that I opened in the late 80s. I still have a 5,000 count box of 88 Dawn. I'm like, why? Like, what? I mean, now again, those aren't even worth selling to your point, but
right.
You got to keep your old cards, man.
I know.
Yes. Right?
Yeah.
I have no.
I show these all the time. I got my initial on it from when I was a kid, right there.
Don, I know you went through. You sold a bunch of cards, and I know it was for different reasons, not necessarily to get into other cards. But did you find that difficult? Was it hard?
At first, it was, but to be honest, there's a few cards that I wish I had back, but like you said, most of them I'll be able to get again down the road. But I've also learned I bought a lot of stuff that I won't rebuy, because I was like doing Hall of Fame runs from certain years, and looking back, it's like I'm not buying that guy again. I didn't really even like that card, but it was just the completion mentality. But I got to be honest with you, and everyone's story is different. I don't really think about it and miss it and go, oh my God, as you can see, I still have cards,
Right.
and I'm still involved with things, and I don't go to every national, but I still go to Strongsville, and I don't go there like I used to with a big list. I go there to hang out, but I still get something,
Yeah. No,
here
I
and
think
there. And
last year, did you get the StarCal decal?
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great pickup. That's a fantastic
So
pickup.
yeah, I got that at that was Strongsville, because I didn't go to the national last year. And I was trying to think earlier, was it Strongsville where I first met you?
Yes, it was
First
not
year.
last year, it was the year before.
Right. Yeah, I knew it
Yeah.
wasn't last year. Okay, because I was thinking Atlantic City, but then when you said Chicago, then I was trying to figure
Yeah, I
out
didn't
where it was.
Atlantic City, I was watching all you guys, but
Yeah, and
still
I
not
knew you
participating.
by the Cleveland one, so I was trying to figure out where we first met. But
Yeah. And John too, I think that was the first time I met you, was that Strongsville too.
I think, and that was, I want to say, 2 years ago may have been my first Strongsville.
It was my first as well.
Yeah. So yeah, Don, I'm still in that completist mode, but to be honest, I can see at some point me saying like, okay, yeah, I've done this, and yeah, I've, and you know what, maybe there are cards that just I did it, I completed something, whatever it may be, and okay, it doesn't do as much for me now to be in my collection, even though I still have that hoard. It's still going to be hard, but I can see at some point saying, would I rather have this one card? And maybe it's not even a rare one, Jason, like you said. Maybe it's not one where it's either expensive or you only see it pop up once a year, but maybe one that I can't readily get right now.
Yep.
That if I sell these 10 cards, that okay, maybe I'll cobble up, maybe not all, but half of it, the cost or whatever, and can make something affordable. And that's how I think a lot of collectors have bought. The few that have bought a mantle or a maze or something, 52 mantle or something, where hey, I sold these 20 or 30 cards to get this one big card. And when you look at the 30, you're like, you sold those 30 cards, but if you look at them, one, they're typically easy to rebuy, and two, in some cases, they're in a grade that you don't necessarily need that same grade back. So, I got a an 8 in this card, and I sell it. Oh yeah, I'd like to get that card back. Do I need it in an 8? No, maybe I can get it in a 6 or something like that. And
that's what Eric, those back pages did when he got
Yes.
his 52 mantle. He had a lot of doubles of some cards, and he gave away a ton of cards, but financially he might not have been able to buy that card, but he had enough inventory that he got that card. And I would think most of those cards he put in that trade, he may still have another copy of, or if he doesn't, can probably get it. But when's he going to get a 52 mantle?
Exactly right. That's the same. It's the same theory.
My latest pride and joy in my collection is the big card I got at the National, my 52 Topps Hank Aaron. I'm like, oh, this is amazing.
You got a 52 Topps Aaron?
What?
You got a 52 Topps Aaron?
54 Topps.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, I had the mantle on the brain, but I thought, I'm thinking to myself, wow, this is never leaving my collection and stuff. But I mean, they're all over the place. Like, it's not like it's rare.
There was like 10 of you that got one at last year's National, I think. It felt like every video I watched, someone was getting a rookie Hank Aaron.
But here's what I'll say about that. So, we talk about hoarder mentality, John, and so the way I grapple with it in my head, golden era particularly wanting, I still want iconic. And the 54 Aaron's iconic. I don't care if there's a million of them out. The 52 mantles iconic. Agree. You can find those at every show. So iconic is iconic. So that iconic is as important to me as a Gehrig, a DiMaggio, a Walter Johnson, because that holds gravitas to me in my head as a collector, as I have Hank Aaron's rookie card. That's a big deal.
But if I were in a position where I had multiple cards of that like price range, and I look and I'm like, okay, if I cobble these 20 cards together, I may actually be able to afford a low grade 52 manual. I could go out and get more easily another Hank Aaron rookie, than have an opportunity to buy a 52 manual. So I'm definitely not there. One, I don't have that type of big inventory. So it would take selling a large chunk of my collection for like one big. I'm not there yet, but I can see years down the road where my collection has grown, where I may look for some of those opportunities, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah, exactly right. And you know, much like I stated earlier, you know, what my friends are collecting on a scarce and price range budget, I'm not there, and I just won't be, and that's okay.
Right.
I mean, we all appreciate each other. You know, that's what's great about this community. We all love what everybody collects. I'm not getting any gas because I'm not there yet. They're thrilled to see what I'm picking up and finding and learning about stuff that they've already had. Right. And they're like, yeah, it's awesome. And so, and again, I'm broad. So I like sets, and the sets that I like, I really just start to pound them, which is what I've been doing lately is I gravitate to sets and I just hammer them. And these are the sets that I like. So
speaking about some of this stuff, do you have some of them
readily
available? I was just
going to say we're almost a half hour in and we haven't seen any cards.
Yeah, so I got a ton. So the first set,
let's see some of this stuff.
The first, and I'll rapid fire some of it. So the first set is probably my favorite right now, my favorite pre-war set, because it's so dang affordable. And I'll run through prices if I can, guys, if I can remember. And this is just to show everybody that it's not crazy. This is the Gaudy wide pen set. Ran for multiple years. Type 1s were done in 36. There are 5 types of the Gaudy wide pen sets. So type 1 through 5. 5s and 4s are very difficult to find, or 3s and 5s. I mix it up. But most commonly is type 1. And I am going to show all type 1s except for one type 4. And I figured I'd start with Paul Wayner from my good friend Don there, Pirates guy.
Yes.
So I got this at the National, and this was $15.
Wow.
So they're blank backs, and you ask, why is that $15? Because someone wrote something in pencil and then tried to erase it.
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me.
That has no effect on.
Has no effect in my world, and if it's gonna save me $30, I'm all for it. So next is Goose Goslin, Hall of Famer. This one I think I paid $25 for most recently, and again, blank back. Type 1s can be indicated by, they say in the corner here, Litho and USA. All the type 1s say that. You had mentioned Frankie Frisch earlier. I bought this at a local card show for $25 off of a dealer I know very well. So beautiful image. And again, the type 1s are 36. Al Simmons, I think I bought this off of eBay. I am certain it was under $30.
Wow.
So we're talking about, 1936 Hall of Famers. This is one I just love, and I picked it up recently, and I think the price is still on it. This was a whopping $33, and it's a 1936 Bill Dickey. Just a beautiful image. These two I bought ungraded and graded them. These were the first wide pens I ever bought. It's my Ducky Medwig. Last National Leaguer to hit for the Triple Crown, by the way. This was under, I think both of them were under $30 or $40. I had them graded, and they graded really high. So this is the last of the type 1s. You can see the Litho and USA in the corner there.
Jason, why are these so cheap?
You know what? They're out there. There's a lot of them out there. Yeah. But again, you go to a local card show, you go to even a vintage show, and they're not going to be there like the 60 top set. A guy will have a stack. He's not going to have the entire run. So, why are they cheap? One of the main things that you'll see here is most of the stuff I'm going to show you is oversized. And oversized comes in at a bargain. I joke with Dan's Vintage PC. We call it oversized for the win. Get a little writing on the back, and it's oversized, and you'll get it for nothing. And it's amazing to me how that works. So I know a lot of people don't have space for oversized, but we're talking postcard size. So if you know Stukes and you know exhibit cards, this is the same thing. So, and then the last one is my Type 4 Luke Appling. I am a White Sox fan, so which I just think is a beautiful image. But so all of that, we were talking as an example, John, 1960 Harman Killebrew in a 4 or 5, it was probably more expensive than most of these cards as singles. Now, most of them are ungraded. And, if you don't like black and white, but if just imagery floats your boat, I prefer images over artistic renditions. So I would take this over the Gaudi sets, me personally, because they're real images, and that's what I enjoy. So, but yeah, that's a great set. This is a very similar set. I only have 2 from them right now. This is the National Chickle 1936. So that was the Gaudi. This is National Chickle. So there's my Lefty Grove. One of the greatest pictures of all time, and a beautiful one. I got this for under $90, I think. It was under 100, I'm certain of that. And I got that blank backs, but it's got an ink blotch on it.
Is that why it got a 1?
That's why I got the 1. Yeah, I think if that ink blotch wasn't there, this would be a 3 or a 4 possibly. So
yeah, because the front's beautiful.
Yeah. But I'll take an ink blotch and save $120 all day long. So
especially on these blank backs, it's not like it's covering stats or writing or anything.
Right.
It's like, so what?
You're right. And then I picked up an L. Simmons again from that local dealer that I know fairly well, and this was $30, I think, for the. So the National Chickle fine pens are a little bit more expensive than the Gaudi wide pens, but still affordable.
Because they're a little bit harder to find.
Yeah, I don't think they ran them as much, and there were 5 types of the wide pens. So, but they're prevalent. When I say, none of this stuff is scarce or real difficult to find. Even in my mind, I mean, when you're talking big cards, in my head, it's like $200 or more. Out of everything I'm showing today, I think I have 2 big cards. Everything else is under that threshold, and most of it under 100. So,
what is the set? And you might have some of them there. They're almost like photo size.
1939 Gaudi premiums.
No, it's almost like a food name, like peanut something or.
So there's the R311s, which are almost like photos, and I have a bunch of those. So
I'm drawing a blank. I know you picked some up. I think your Ruth was.
Oh, the 1929 cash-ins.
No.
So this is the Ruth is the cash-in. I'm sorry, I'm flipping through cards faster. Sorry.
No, I know. I've got you going all over the place. No, that wasn't it.
That's the cash-in set.
Yeah, I remember you got that.
Yeah.
I guess I got the wrong card.
This is my pride and joy. This is my favorite card in my collection. I have a Plain Days Babe Ruth.
And that what year's that from?
1929.
29.
Actual image.
I like that better than a Gaudi, to be honest.
Yeah, and 1 1/3 of the price of a Gaudi.
Yeah.
Right. So the back's a little smudged up. Looks like it came out of a book.
It's like you said, it doesn't matter. It's blank back. So.
But it's a Plain Days Babe Ruth. I'm good with it. So that's how I collect. So where I mentioned that the grades don't mean as much to me, and grading doesn't mean as much to me, collecting this has kind of shifted my brain as to, what, I have a Walter Johnson that's just beat to heck, but I absolutely love it. And it's an A. It's got a corner nipped off of it, and it is graded by SGC, so it's authenticated, but it's my only Walter Johnson, and he's not cheap to come by.
What sets it from?
It's an American Caramel.
American Caramel.
Yeah, so 20E. I mix up the E's down, so I think it's the E122. I mix up the 121s and the 122s. It's the ornate border, so it might be the 121. Okay. I mix them up.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
you could fool me, and I wouldn't know.
Someone will correct me in the comments which one it is with the ornate border. It's the 121s or the 122s. I forget.
Maybe it's is there a Butterfingers or something?
Like that?
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. Yes. So I'll spill the beans.
I've seen me and Jeannie show some of them off.
Yeah,
I remember Jason showing some of them.
Yeah, I have 3. So this is they're 1934 Butterfingers. That's Jim Bottomley, Hall of Famer. He's with the Cardinals here. They are like newspaper thin.
I was going to say, aren't they very, very thin? Yeah.
Very, very thin. So you can see I've got a nick out of one of the corners there, and that is extremely common. Actually, this is in great shape.
I can't even see it.
So you'll see right there. I've got the white backing on it. But they are newspaper thin, and they were issued in 1934 when you purchased a 5-cent candy bar. So there's my Bottomley, and then I've got Lefty Gomez, Vernon Lefty Gomez, and again you can see the nick in the corner up there. And these are like 8x10s almost. They're bigger.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I just picked up recently Joe Cronin. And this one's
Yeah, that's exactly the set I was thinking of.
Yeah.
When I said
now
oversized.
my goal, if it's there, I do know a dealer who has one. My goal is to pick up the Lou Gehrig. And that's big for me. That's a big card for me. So that's kind of my goal card right now. I want that set to be my playing days Gehrig. So, but it's still a 1/3, if not more than 1/3 less than a Gaudi. So oversized for the win. Oversized for the win.
Now, right. As opposed to the complete opposite of the oversized, do you have any strip cards?
I do. You know what? I got to grab them if you don't mind me grabbing.
Yeah. I have one to show off here that
show that one.
Story behind it, and
I have to admit, I'm not a big fan of a lot of strip cards. To me, it looks like they're wearing lipstick, and the photos don't look like the players. But a lot of people love them.
The one I have is fairly cool, but there's some that I've seen, like even Ruth's. And it looks like a 10-year-old kid drew it, and it has like lipstick. I'm like, I know it's a Ruth. It sort of looks like Ruth, but that definitely wouldn't be on the top of my list.
Right.
For again, just me. But all right. So what like strip cards?
So I pulled. This is a W515-2. So it's from 1923, and most of the strip cards were hand cut. And it's Ray Schulk. Hall of Fame catcher for the White Sox, was part of the Black Sox team, but he was clean. And this was actually a gift from Sammy Thunder at this year's National. So that's a beautiful strip card to me. And then this isn't really a strip card. It's a phenomenal set with a lot of big names in it. And I love the imagery. This is from the 1921 Oxford Confectionaries. And there, again, that's Ray Schulk. And I got that at last year's Strongsville. Now I got the A, and I knew it was going to I bought it ungraded. And as much as I talk about not grading, there are certain cards that I'm going to grade. I graded that Ruth. That Ruth I bought ungraded. So, but not a ton of strip cards, but one or two.
The one I have, and you said one of yours was a W. Was it 515 or?
Mine's a 515-2. Yeah.
Yeah, mine's I think a W5. If I'm reading with the word, 515-1.
Yes.
Let me zoom in here. It's the Frankie Frisch, and I got this Dave Blue Jacket 66.
That is sharp.
And except for there looks like maybe when they cut it just a little bit, got a little, funkiness on the cut. But other than that, it is super sharp. And I eventually want to send this to get it graded just to protect it.
Sure.
But I don't care if it comes in authentic or not. That's I don't care. But now that the sharpness and the color and how it actually sort of looks like it's a cartoon, but it looks more like an actual player. I really like this one. But there are other strip cards that I look at and I'm like,
Oh, some of them are looks like Scott drew them. I mean, they're not professional at all. So, in all seriousness, Scott's phenomenal. Some of
that up, teed up.
Right. Yeah. Some of them look like I drew them, I'll say, because they're bad. Some of them are fairly realistic, but I'm not a huge strip card guy. I'll dive into that. The W's, I know you get confused. The W's, I'm kind of right now, my wheelhouse is the R's, like the oversized 30s. And I like some of the E's, the 21, the chocolates from the 20s.
Chris from Missouri has a decent strip card collection. I think he has a decent number.
He's got quite a few. Yeah, I believe he does.
Yeah, he does.
I think John 380's Kids Ruth is technically one of the strip cards. It's one of the realistic looking ones, though. It's a good looking. That's why he picked it. He wanted one that represented him. So
yeah. Well, as we normally do, usually maybe around halfway, we try to pause a little bit in the discussion, maybe throw out some trivia. Just some fun trivia, put everyone on the spot. I usually do terrible, Jason, so don't worry. Don usually stumps me, or I make some stupid answer or something like that. So I have Don's been doing something really cool over the last couple episodes of having a list of players that meet a certain category, and we have to try to, get all the players on the list. So I have something like that. But Don, you have more of a regular trivia question.
Yeah, you want me to go first? Mine's short.
Yeah.
So there are 2 players in Major League history, 2 pitchers that have won Rookie of the Year, and then the following year they won the Cy Young. For the 2 pitchers.
I got one.
I think this is pretty obvious.
I got one.
Don asked it, and it's
One
probably Paul Skeens.
He's one.
Right. That's the one that I had.
I would hope you 2 would get that.
Yeah. Okay. So
who's the other one?
You said Rookie of the Year and then Cy Young?
Yeah, Rookie of the Year. Then the next year they got the Cy
Young. Yeah. See, I'm sure
Kershaw,
if I've been watching like the
Kershaw?
highlights of when Skeens got, they probably said he became only the second player to the, and then I would know the answer, but I don't.
Well, actually, I know this because the player said welcome to the club and did a little thing for him. So that's a hint that he's obviously still alive, this player.
So he's not modern. Is he playing currently?
No.
Okay. All right. Welcome to the club.
Yeah. So an early Cy Young Award winner, because it would had to have been Rookie of the Year the year before.
Seaver?
He's not playing now.
Not Seaver.
Oh no, Seaver. Yeah. He's still alive. You said.
I know it's not Koufax because Koufax didn't hit the ground running, and to the Cy Young year, so there was a gap there. I don't think, I don't think it was Gibson. And they're not playing anymore. Decade. It wasn't Maddox. I'm trying to think of a lot of Cy Young Award winners.
National League.
Decade?
Come on, I'm getting a little more here. Come on. Why don't I just give you the answer?
It's not Kershaw, is it?
No.
Greinke, no. You said no on Maddox, National League.
I don't even know when his rookie year was, but it was either 80s or 90s.
Oh, God. 80s or 90s. I should know this.
Glavin.
No.
Schilling? No.
You guys already mentioned somewhat the right team, but not the right player.
Ooh.
Smokes Glavin, Maddox, no. Kershaw, no. I'm trying now. I'm whipping through National League teams. Cardinals wouldn't have anybody. Cubs, no.
It wasn't Paul Avery or that one Braves player.
That's Steve Avery.
Avery. No, I don't think he won a Cy Young. He may not have even got Rookie of the Year.
I'm stumped. Skeens was easy. The second one is hard.
Yeah. Right-handed pitcher. Did not have a Hall of Fame career, even though he won Rookie of the Year and Cy Young his first.
He's not in the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Really? Okay.
Not in the Hall of Fame.
Who did Schilling start with? It's not Schilling? It's not Kurt Schilling?
Schilling, I think, started with the Orioles.
Yeah. That was in the 80s. That was like 88, 87, something like that.
Late 80s,
yeah. No Hall of Famer.
People are screaming in the chat right now once they see this.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep.
Dwight Gooden? There we go.
Oh, all God, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang. Actually, when you say it, it's just like so easy.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, it was like Tommy Lasorda last week. No, you mentioned Tom Seaver earlier.
Right.
Yep, that was the team.
Yeah.
Right. But he had passed away. You said he was alive, so I'm like, wait, no, that's not right.
No. Later, when I said the hint, I said you had mentioned the team.
Right.
So that's all I was referring to.
All right. So here's a rapid fire. There's 20 players on this list. Okay, but I think you're gonna between the two of you, you're gonna start rattling them off, and then as we start getting down to maybe within the last 5 or so, it may be a struggle. We'll see. the top 20 career RBI leaders.
That's hard.
Musial.
Musio's on there. He's number 8. Aaron's number 1.
Mays.
Bonds is number 6. Mays is number 12.
Ruth
is number 3.
Cobb
is number 9.
Yastrzemski
is number 15.
Did you say Clemente already? Or no?
Yeah.
Clemente is not on the top 20.
Pujols
is number 2 all time.
A-Rod
is number 4.
Did you say Gwynn?
Gwynn?
Yeah. Tony Gwynn?
Nope, not on the top 20.
Wow. All right.
Killebrew is not in the top 20.
K-Line
is not in the top 20.
Frank Robinson
is not in the top 20.
Okay.
And now
there's still some
Mickey Mantle.
There's some of the newer generation players, so there's still a mix going on here. Cabrera, yes, Miguel Cabrera, number 13, good one.
Jimmy Fox on the list.
Don, you said Mantle?
Yes.
No.
Yes. Jimmy Fox
is number 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Just over halfway.
Mel
Ott, yes, is
good
number
one.
14.
You said Jimmy Fox, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Al Simmons, no, I think he's just outside, if I remember correctly.
I got to get my head out of pre-war and back to modern now. I'm trying to.
There's one that is pre-war. Well, there's one that's really pre-war. Let's just say that.
Did we say
Cap Anson?
Cap Anson is number 5. Good one. I didn't think you'd get that. Yeah. Excellent.
When you say really pre-war, that's why.
Did we say Gehrig?
No, Lou Gehrig's number 7. All right, so you have the top 10. You're missing number 11 and 16 through 20.
Jeez. So and some are modern.
Eddie Matthews.
Number 11, switch hitter.
Eddie Murray.
Yes.
Good call.
Number 16, you named a player on the list, and it's the player right above this player that was a lifelong player of a certain team, and it's the same team.
Eddie Matthews?
No.
Ernie Banks?
Nope.
No one was ever on base.
Huh?
You named this player, and he played his entire career for that team, and the person that's next on him on the list also played his entire career for that same team.
It's got to be a Yankee.
Cal Ripken, no.
It's got to be a Yankee, right? It's got to be a Yankee. No. Oh, jeez.
Is Mike Schmidt on the list?
Nope.
Willie McCovey.
Willie McCovey is not on the list.
Yeah, you're rattling off all the number 2 guys. I'm with you on that.
We're down to 16 through 20. It's that group.
Okay. All right. Dave Kingman.
Nope.
Get a lot of home runs.
The last 4, 17 through 20, are somewhat modern era players. So there's one that's still in the golden age that you've just overlooked.
What about
Reggie Jackson?
Reggie Jackson, no.
McGuire?
No.
Ted Williams.
Ted Williams is number 16, right behind Corey Yastrzemski.
That's bad that we missed that. That took that long to get
5 RBIs behind Corey Yastrzemski.
Okay.
Now, the rest are more modern, and we have 2 Hall of Famers and 2 non-Hall of Famers.
Are they all retired?
Hall of Famers have reasons why they're not in the Hall of Fame.
Dosa?
No.
Gary Sheffield?
No.
Oh, Palmeiro.
Rafael Palmeiro, number 18.
Okay. And there's one more.
Another one that was maybe sort of I think he may have actually got suspended once, maybe. He did play for the Red Sox for a few years, and Cleveland Indians.
Ramirez.
Oh,
Manny
Manny
Ramirez is number 20. So now we have 2 spots left, both Hall of Famers.
Jim Thome.
Nope. One was a 2-sport player, or was drafted in more than one sport.
Dave Winfield.
Dave Winfield is number 19, and
he
we
was
have
drafted in all 3.
One left.
Frank Thomas.
Nope. Is he top? This is going to give it away. He may be in the top 5 of career home runs, and you've missed him.
We missing Bonds.
Mays.
I said A-Rod, right?
Yeah.
Pujols.
You said Pujols, yeah.
Babe Ruth. I said Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth.
Oh, it's a modern player who's in the Hall of Fame.
Top 5. Who am I? Oh my God! I'm going to shoot myself for not.
I know I'm missing somebody.
Who are we missing? Not Ichiro.
Sort of his rookie card is sort of a big deal.
Well, we said McGuire. Maddie? No.
Modern player.
You are going to kick yourself.
Wait a minute.
Griffey?
Yes.
Oh my God, yes.
Okay.
Ken Griffey Jr., number 17. That was fun.
Oh my gosh, I am horrible at trivia.
We did all right.
Cap Anson, I thought, again, I knew I was going to give a hint of an old type, but well done, Jason.
Thank you, sir.
I thought of all of the ones on the list, that would have been the hardest.
Probably not the most.
Not bad. I got the other 19. No.
Yeah, exactly. You were rattling them off. I couldn't even keep up. I'm like, wait.
So he was at the top 5. All have 2,000 or more RBIs, and Cap Anson 2,075.
Yeah.
Career RBIs.
Not a very good person if you read his history, but historically part of my White Sox. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that was fun. So, we still have some time here to talk about. So, we've talked a lot about vintage pre-war, but talk about your modern side. I know that doesn't get talked about a lot on these videos. It tends to be everything's about vintage, but what do you collect on the modern side? Any different projects you're working on, or?
So virtually what I do on modern side, and I try to keep it cheap, is I prospect on the cheap. This generation of collecting, there is a false sense of scarcity built in with the numbered cards and things of that nature. So it gives me the perfect opportunity to just collect base rookie cards. And that's what I do. So if there's a player that I like, I'll buy, and nowadays these players have 30 to 40 to 50 rookie cards.
Yep.
So if there's one person that I like, I might stock up on them. I have 6 different Ohtani rookie cards from different sets. I probably have 15 Bobby Witt Juniors. I also have 20 Wander Francos. But that being said, the hit or the loss that I took is $4 a card, $5 a card, $1 card.
And I'm assuming you're buying these ungraded.
Correct, 100%. And the intent is not to grade at all. Now, I do have a friend of mine who he was, and I've mentioned it on my channel. He had a channel with another buddy of his, and they were breaking back in the day, and they were breaking modern. And he's actually in my poker league. I play a lot of poker. Okay. And we started talking about cards, and he said, "Oh man, I've got stuff for you." I said, "Well, what do you have?" He's like, "We just have stuff that we don't want. It's just sitting there." And he came to poker for like 3 months in a row with 2 or 3 500 count boxes of just modern cards, and just said, "Take them. I don't want them." And I would put them in I'm putting them in binders, and I'd pick out all the rookies. And through that alone, I've gathered an immense amount of rookie cards of future players. Pete Crow Armstrong for the Cubs. I have like 6 or 7 Cal Raleigh rookie cards. And, now he's playing really well, and he's runner up for the MVP. So that's fun to me. I will never go out and buy the 1 of 10 or the gold or the triple dipple refractor. I don't follow any of that.
That's my favorite, the triple dipple.
Triple, and then that the
Now,
kaboom.
would you go as far as maybe, because I don't think even some of these would be, especially ungraded, like maybe some of the refractors or something that aren't numbered.
Absolutely. And in those 500 count boxes, that would be in there. So there would be refractors, there would be purples. So those are even getting shoved to the wayside by the modern collector now.
Yeah.
So at what point in time so what's the only important cards are what, 1 out of 5? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
So,
and that's sort of where I've taken, I haven't stopped collecting Wade Boggs, but I've really cut back. And what I'm doing now is I'm focusing more on the holes that I have in his playing days. And those are some really hard to find parallels, ones that, it's numbered out of, 99. That shouldn't be hard, but they're darn hard to find. One, either people don't even know it's a serial numbered out of 99 or don't think it's worth money and don't bother putting it on eBay. So it's really, they're hard to find, but some of them are truly, because they produce so much, even those inserts are extremely hard to come across. And then for the new stuff, Jason, I'm just like you. It's okay, new set come out. I'll get the base card. I'll get a refractor, maybe a couple color, maybe a serial numbered out of 250 and stuff. But once you start getting to those lower serial numbers, even for Boggs, it's just like, the orange refractor out of 25, ungraded, nothing, no autograph. It's just the base card, and they want $25 for it. I'm like, we talked about the move from golden age to pre-war is been there, done that.
Right.
I have so many low serial numbered cards, rainbows. I don't need any more rainbow. I mean, I've autograph. I think I forget what the count was, like 600 on card, like certified autograph cards above.
Wow.
I don't. So for a new issue, say, hey, here's a new from Topps Definitive or something like that. It's an autograph and it's out of 99 and it goes on eBay and people want $75 for it. I'm like, I don't.
Right.
So there's so much out there, you can't collect it all.
Right.
Yep.
So I've been very particular now in what I'm going after. It's just try to fill in the gaps for his playing days, and then maybe pick up a few newer cards here and there, cheap stuff.
Yep.
So I'll be getting packages in the mail, and my wife's like, "You got another package?" I'm like, "Don't worry, it's a $4 Boggs card," because it's like, no big deal.
I kid you not, John. That happened to me yesterday. So I've cut back on spending. I'm trying to save, and then we've had things in life happen. We're fixing cars and all sorts of stuff. So the budget that I had saved up to this point, it got spent on my daughter's cars and whatnot. So I had a card come in the mail yesterday, and my wife said, "I thought you were slowing down." I said, "This card was $1.07, out the door." It was actually obviously a post playing days, a modern card of Melot. I have no playing days Melot cards. And we had to do a video of the greatest right fielders of all time. So I needed to get some Melot cards. Otherwise, I couldn't. You have to have a card of the player if you want to represent them in your Mount Rushmore. So I'm like, I got to go get some Melot cards for $1. I'm not going to buy a $1,000 card. So I'll just look for a $1 card.
Yeah. I know that there's mixed feelings out there, especially from vintage collectors about the modern cards featuring all-time Hall of Fame greats or whatever. I think some of them are really cool. Now, once you get into all the fancy parallels, I'm like, okay, that's but the base card, maybe a refractor or maybe a color match, but there are certain ones that, based on the design, look really cool.
I love them.
And more often than not, you'll see an image, and I don't know where they come up with the image, but you won't see that image on another card, even from their playing days. They find a new image of that. Maybe it's more casual that normally wouldn't have made a card back in their playing days, but they use it on a modern. And I think some of them look just outstanding. And again, you pick them up for like $2. It's like, unless they're some super short print or something. And it's a cool way to collect some great Hall of Famers, just to have their picture on a card.
Yep, I agree.
I agree too. Although I swear with Musial, they use the same 3 poses.
Right.
Always modern. It's like, come on, guys. There's got to be.
Boggs is getting that way too. I swear Topps has 8 photos of Boggs, and that's all they have.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what are they going to use this? Oh, yeah, I've seen this one on that set, that set, that
Right.
set, that set, and that set, and that set. It's like, but
that's the fun thing if you're diving into, and I know you're a big Musial guy. Do you have his 49 All-Star picture pack, Don? Have you ever seen that?
I've seen it. I don't have it.
Yeah, that's a great image, and it's a different image, and he's young. I mean, that stuff is fun, and when you start to get into that quote unquote oddball, oversized stuff,
Right.
you start to find different images, McGregor's and J Publishing's and things that I have a couple. I've got like here. This is I think it's 61 to 63, Mickey Mantle, J Publishing. So this was actually a gift from Coach Neal, Cardboard Coach Neal. Gifted me this, but again, 61 to 63, plain days Mickey Mantle for virtually the same price as maybe his Giants card or his 68 game playing card. I mean, just very affordable stuff because
there's a Jay's Publishing.
Yeah, that's a beautiful one. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of stuff is fantastic to me.
I agree.
I love his Rawlings. You know, I'd love to own the whole Rawlings box. There were actually 2
Rawlings
boxes, but they're beautiful. Absolutely, the cards on the
Rawlings has a lot of cool, at least musical stuff, because that's kind of how I look at it. I don't really look at the other players, but
even advertising pieces.
Yeah.
There's
a Rawlings catalog with musical on it that I want to get, but they're going for about $100, which seems a little pricey for it.
Sure.
But
that might be something you see at Strongsville, right? I mean,
right. Yeah, that's something I would pick up to show like that.
Now, I've seen it, and I don't know what the set is. I'm sure there's some set name, but I know Stephen with the PH has picked up a Jackie Robinson. I know there's I think there's a Joe DiMaggio. It's green and it was in a book. And there's circle. Does Musial have one of those?
He's not in there. You have the 1950 pinups.
Okay.
Musial's not in there, is he, Don? I got the Gil Hodges behind me.
Maybe he is.
He is in it. Okay. I didn't even know.
Cool.
So I've got the Hodges, but I don't have the L page. Mine's the full circle only.
Okay.
Mine's circle only.
Yeah, I have Kiner too, which is I don't think it has this.
Yeah, you just have the circle.
Yeah, and then it's really hard to tell, but you can see where the pinhole would be that you punch out.
The punch out, yeah.
For this.
And again, affordable if you want to, that's a more affordable Jackie when you start talking about that versus any of his cards, because his cards are going through the roof.
You say they're from 1950?
1950 pinups,
Yeah. It's a book. Every once in a while you'll see one on eBay.
The whole book.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't think it was Stephen with the P. Someone I thought bought
Stephen
the whole book.
Stephen bought the book.
Did he?
Yeah, Stephen bought the book. He's got the book, I believe. So and it's fantastic. And again, oversized if you have the room.
Right.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Do you have the Musial 10, the Wheaties 10?
Yeah.
Because I need that. I'm a Cardinals guy as well, John. So all of his Musial stuff I just love. So I need that bad.
Yeah.
So this is something that I didn't know about. And I saw it at the National. I was like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
And you can see it's still got the box on the back.
They all do.
Again, who cares?
Right.
But I bought this at Atlantic City, and Eric Forleaf and I were on the back porch of our house looking at him on eBay to see who else there was. And he's like, oh, look, here's Kiner.
Yep.
Or was it Mazeroski?
No, it's Kiner. It's Kiner.
I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, oh, crap, someone already bought it. And here, Forleaf bought it for me.
Yeah.
And he gave it to me later. I thought I had that handy, but I don't.
The big one in there, right?
Jackie.
Jackie's the big one, yeah.
Yeah.
But still affordable when it comes to Jackie. Somewhat affordable in comparison to some of his other stuff.
Yeah, but it's not cheap.
And then and the last one's Rizzuto. Is Rizzuto the last one?
I believe so. Yeah,
I think there's 4. Yeah, so that thing is cool, and you could pick one up for $50 to $100. I could, if you go online, you can find one.
Yeah. Yeah. They're now that I see them a lot now, but when I first saw it, I'd never seen it before.
Right.
And I've said this before, because Muso doesn't have a ton of cards, and the ones that don't have, I may never have. They're so expensive and rare.
Correct.
That when I find unique pieces like that, that's what I look for at the shows.
Yeah, his monster card I would guess, is probably like the Hunter Wieners.
Yes.
Which was the regional set.
Yeah.
I almost picked up the Shane Dienst, and it looks like it got ran over by a truck, and it was like $200.
Wow.
And now that same card online is going for like $400 or $500. And they're hand cut.
I can't picture that set.
So it was actually
it
was actually wrapped with the Wieners. It was a regional set, so it was only Cardinals. I think it was only Cardinals. There might have been one other team. And it was 50, I'm guessing here, 53 to 54, something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that area.
But the Musial's just crazy.
There's a guy that had him on eBay, and I've seen the same guy with him at the National. He's had him on eBay for like 6 years. One time they were 5,000. Now he's asking like 10,000, and they're not in great shape either.
Right.
But they're just so hard to find. And the one's a really cool pose. One's a headshot, and the other one he's swinging the bat.
Yep. I think Aaron's got the headshot. He picked it up, yeah. And I mean, again, it's in rough shape because most of them are, but just to have it.
Do you have any the Burke Ross? Was Muso in more than one Burke Ross set or just one?
I think two, but it's the same card basically.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I don't have
of him fielding, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, he's kind of doing this. Yeah, and that's I don't have any. So again, we talked earlier, John. There's so much in the golden era. I don't have a Burke Ross card. I need a Burke Ross.
Neither do I.
I
don't have. We're talking about Jackie Robinson. I don't have a base Topps Jackie Robinson card yet in my collection. Yeah, that's cool. That's beautiful. Maybe not the sharpest picture of Musial, but it's
and this is a gift from a YouTuber. And here's the piece Sammy was talking about that I picked up at Strongsville.
Yeah.
Past year.
You got that from Chapel, I think. I was with you. I
did.
Yeah. I was by you when you were doing it.
And then I bought this one raw years ago. And I got it graded. What's great about this card, the backs are usually trashed.
Oh.
And that one's pretty clean.
That is a big deal. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And that's a set. I don't have any Retorados. We talked.
That's the only one I have. It's probably the only one I'll have, but but it's pieces like this that I look for,
Yep.
Because
they're unique and
And that's the player I like to collect. And
you got a bunch of his Redmans, I assume, right?
Yeah, he has 2 of them. So I have the Redman and then the Red Heart. This is the one card that I just couldn't part with.
Oh yeah.
The cards.
What's the grade? Is that a 4?
Yeah.
Wow, mine's a 1, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And then I bought that off of Sammy with tabs. So
I like those with. I don't have any, but if I were to pick ones, I'd want them with the tabs.
Yeah, the other one's got the blue back.
Yes, the blue back's the other one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care either way. I've really opened up like my whole, like I used to be very focused on it's got to be this, it's got to be that. I picked up a Johnny Mize. I think it was the 54 Redman. No tab, graded, authentic for like $20.
There's the blue one.
Yeah. And so and that's the 50.
The green with the tab.
Yeah, there you go.
I've got the different backs. And then I've got one without the tab.
Perfect.
This is a gift from Jake Brewer.
Yeah.
That's beautiful too.
Yeah.
No tab is clean.
Yep.
So.
Yeah.
So much golden era that I still need to get. So now I'm swinging back.
Yeah. But it's again, that's I've talked about it. So many other people talked about it. There's just so many different things and ways to collect that all of us, while we have a lot of similarities with other collectors, we all have our unique style and tastes, and some of it comes from budget, but it's we form our own collection and interests, and over time things change. we may say, hey, I can get rid of some of these to do this or whatever. Or, another trend is consolidation, a more curated set where you have maybe not necessarily high price cards, but just more, hey, I just want to have 100 cards or whatever the case may be. And the rule is if I buy a new one, I have to get rid of another. Now, I could never do that. I could never be that disciplined to say, even if it's 200 or whatever, to say, if next card I buy means I have to sell, I'm like, I couldn't do that. I could maybe get to a point, like I said, of selling some cards to get one big card or whatever.
I could do it for a while on some of the ones, like I said earlier, that I bought in sets that I really don't care about. Like I'm looking at a Hoyt Wilhelm over there that doesn't really mean that much to me. But after a while, and especially if I just had 200 cards, and they were all great, I couldn't do that.
There are people who collect like that. I know
No.
several people who are, if I buy one, I got to get rid of one. I'm like, I can't even fathom that.
Now, some of it is necessity. I know some people, they don't have a large amount of space to store cards, and they say, look, I have this one closet, I have a little display case or whatever, and they physically can't have a large collection, even though if they wanted to. So they're forced, like, hey, I need to have a small collection, but it's going to be ones that I really, really want, or iconic cards or whatever, whatever they consider iconic cards. And yet they're maybe sometimes forced to have a smaller collection. My goal is to eventually finish my basement so I can have an even bigger collection.
Right.
That's why I can get the oversized stuff, and you can see like a big painting like hanging over there. Like I've got enough room for some of that stuff.
My room is small, and I've already filled the walls, and I have so much more that I want to hang. My wife and I have discussed if we were to move again. I'm like, well, a priority for me is a much larger office. This is my office. I work from home, so this is my desk all day long as well. So, but a much bigger office to show off more stuff.
You need to aim high. You need to aim for that man cave converted basement. Now, I don't know if there's basements, if that's common where you live and stuff like that, but one day I realize it's now going to be much longer until I'm able to finish the basement, but when I do, it's going to be
phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Yeah. But things will take time. Like I said, everything about this hobby, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So I'm fine with my little display area and stuff and boxes here and there. And that's fine.
Sure.
But hey, Jason, this was such a great conversation. We talked about a lot of different topics. Love the conversation about getting into pre-war. Love the examples that you showed there of some recent pickups. Really appreciate you coming on again. For those that have made it about an hour and 15 minutes, we'll have a link to Jason's channel in the description. And Don, you're going to be on the hook for the next guest. My guess is we're going to be sometime with the holidays and all this stuff, and sometime into December that we'll have a next episode. But again, Jason, thanks for being on, and everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Thank you, Jason. Great.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right, man.